Okay, we're just going to record this session in case other people have any questions or anything. They can go back and kind of follow up with the recording, and we'll have it on our external website so everybody can access it. But today we're here to just provide extra information or answer any questions in regards to the summer program proposal, the RFP that we sent out on December 1st. We are requesting proposals for up to $49,000 for the development and implementation of short-term programs to provide and focus on one service of the pre-employment transition services. We intend to contract with 10 qualified applicants. And so the dates for the program are going to run from April 1st of 2023 through July 31st of 2023. The submission deadline will be January 13th, 2023 by 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And those need to be sent to us in the PDF format, and it need to be sent to vr.summerprograms@nebraska.gov. And all this information is in the RFP that was sent out. We will be notifying the individuals that were selected for the proposal by February 8th. And then in the proposal, we also added information in there about the budget narrative and the line item budget to kind of help individuals with that piece when they're submitting it. So at this point, Amy, is there anything else you want to add, or we can open it up to questions?
I say let's just open it on up for questions. The proposal is the RFP did have some changes this year, so I assume there probably will have some questions. So let's go ahead and turn it over to our guest.
Okay, I do have one question.
Sure.
Does it have to, if we got the grant, does the grant have to run for the full length of April 1st through July 31st? Or could we program for like 1 week, like that first week in June?
That's correct. Yes, you can have your program run as long as you want to. It's just has to be in that timeline, during that timeline. For some of the people that just got here, I'm just opening it up for any questions. So feel free to just ask questions in regards to the RFP.
Oh, I gotta change my name. I have a question about and my name's Russell from Ralston. If I want to do like in summertime with having kind like our kids go to like a program, kind of like how the Goodwill does it in the summer, do I have to like have all that program's name and stuff that like kids will, like I wanted that kids will have like a job program kind of like Goodwill.
Okay, so are you like looking at having them go out into the workforce and do like a work-based learning experience out in the workforce? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. If you could kind of give us an idea of some of the places that you're looking at, I think that would be good. And then I don't think they necessarily have to give definite names of where they're going to be at for sure, just like where you're thinking they're going to be placed at.
Okay. Do you have like examples of grants or like programs like you had in the past?
There's, on our external website, there's probably a list of summer programs on there that kind of gives them a short description of what each one of them provided or did. So maybe that would help.
Lupe, it's Jamie at ESU 5.
Sure.
Are there, and maybe you went over this before I got on, but what are the changes in the grant? I haven't had the time to read through all of it yet, but what are the specific or notable changes to it?
Okay, so one of the changes is that we want you to focus on one service that you provide. I mean, I know that sometimes you might be providing other services while you're providing that one service, but we want you to just focus on one rather than focusing on 5 different ones. So that's one of the changes.
Okay,
Another change is that we're looking at a limit of how many proposals that we're going to accept. So we're only accepting 10 proposals this year.
okay, all right.
We're only doing 10 contracts. We're going to
Yes.
take as many proposals as will come in. By
Oh,
the
I
due-
apologize. Yes, you're right.
But we'll only be contracting with 10 providers for
Okay.
the time of April 1 through the end of July of 2023.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, on camera.
Another change, Jamie, that we made is in reference to billing. We did put a little bit more specifics in the RFP as to what is needed for
Okay,
billing based on feedback that we have received from previous providers of our summer contracts.
okay,
The other big change is that final billing is due within 30 days of the end date of the program. So for example, I think it was Heather had said, we're going to run our program maybe that first week of June.
right.
So if your program ends June 5th, let's say, your billing would be due to Nebraska VR by July 5th. Your final report, your final billing, all of that now is due specifically, and that will be in the contract within 30 days of the end date of your program. We won't be accepting any billing before your program has ended. We used to accept billing kind of throughout. So if you were having a longer program, we would do like a monthly. We this year are only doing billing once after the program has ended. So there is just a little bit more specific in the RFP to talk about billing. The other thing this year, I, as the fiscal liaison with Nebraska VR, would like to meet with your billing staff prior to that billing being submitted. So whoever is selected for a contract, that is something that we would like to do too, in order to expedite that billing process a little bit better, to make it a little bit less cumbersome for people. So there'll be a little bit more monitoring, which is also mentioned in the RFP, that there is some more contract monitoring this year.
Okay.
I believe that's on like page 7 of the RFP. If you want to see some of those, it's listed under the additional guidance. There are some, that's where some of these changes are made. There's also an example of the budget format that we would encourage and like to see submitted on there. So that was, again, driven by some feedback that we received from providers in the last couple of years.
So question, since
Yes.
you're asking us to have billing done within 30 days of the completion of our program, does that mean that on your end, you'll have responses to us within 30 days and reimbursement within 30 days?
We can't guarantee the reimbursement, because there might again be that back and forth where we have to get some additional billing. there will be a greater, I think it will be easier in having more communication in the front end this time than what we have done previous years. We've also are making some changes. We're going to have some more staffing in Nebraska VR, hopefully, that will take the load off of our current staff, so that hopefully we have some more people freed up, so that we're not as overloaded as we have been the last couple of years. So I think that'll be a great factor as well too. So our goal is to always try to get those done. And by doing this, having everybody turn it in within 30 days, the hope is that we'll stagger when we get billing in. What has happened in this year, last year and this year, is everybody kind of waited until the end of the contract period, and then everybody submitted at the same time. And so we had 19 programs this year, and 19 programs submitted within about 3 to 4 weeks of each other, and 19 programs submitting within 3 to 4 weeks of each other, with anywhere from 20 to, I think the highest is like 180 pages of documentation for billing to get through. Is quite the workload on top of everyday tasks. So it was a little bit more difficult than what we perceived with feedback. So yes, that is our hope, to be able to get through these quicker and faster this year, by not only limiting the amount of contracts, but also by doing a final report, final billing due within that 30 days of the end date. So yeah, that's the hope.
Okay.
I have a follow-up question also. Since there's only 10 contracts being written this year, I'm assuming that means half as many students will be served. Is there a plan to serve the students that ordinarily would be served by these contracts in another way?
I mean, we don't have any plans at this point. This is what we're doing. What we're hoping is that we get a good amount of programs that are across Nebraska that kind of it kind of fills out the whole Nebraska and in every region, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's what our hope is.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Believe we need to stay on and for the allotted time. Is that correct, Cinda? Yeah, so feel free to come and go as you want to, I guess, is you can go ahead and leave if you want to. If you have other questions, feel free to go ahead and stay on and we'll answer those.
Thank you for popping on.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we will, like Loopy said, if you can't stay on, we will post the recording to the website and everything where you found the RFP too. So feel free, if you need to jump off that, you'll be able to see a recording of it as well.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Heather.
So quick question. So you said you're only gonna do 10 contracts throughout the whole state?
Correct,
Okay, and there was 19 last year?
correct.
How many kids usually are served on a contract?
It really varies across each one of those. We had some that just had, maybe 5 or under 10, and then we had some that had, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 kids or so or more.
Okay.
So it just really varies.
Okay. So are you someone that would approve the contracts?
We actually have a rubrics that we use, and we have a team that kind of reviews the proposals to make that decision.
Okay. And then is that rubrics, is that available? Or is that something that people that are writing the grants are able to look at or no?
It's attached to the RFP that we sent out. It's attached
Okay.
to that. So you'll kind of see how each category is scored.
It's called the scoring sheet. At the end of the proposal or RFP, right before.
Okay. I got it.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
I just stopped at page 8 because there was nothing below on the page. It's like, oh, is that it? No, should have just looked left and all those other pages. Okay. Hmm. And then where did you say, like you had examples of programs you had last year?
It's on our external website. Nebraska Vocational Rehabilitation website. I can put the link in here, or if somebody else knows what the link is.
So it's just like the nebraskavr.gov.
Yeah, vr.nebraska.gov.
Okay. Um,
I,
and then-
And
I think it's, yeah, vr.nebraska.gov. Yep.
yeah, I was looking to see.
And then once you get to the website, it's under students.
Okay.
And then where it says summer transition
Okay.
program, transition summer programs, and then it has, if you scroll down, you can see the last few years and the descriptions.
Okay. And I was looking at these and a lot of these were saying in all 5 areas.
Right, that's a change that we made.
Just,
So,
okay,
yeah, we just want you to focus on one area.
okay. Just, that makes sense. Okay, thank you for that. I think that
Yeah.
helped. Okay. Okay, another question. Like, if I want, I want to do like work-based experience, and then I want, the students to be paid, how would I, that, because that would be through the grant, right? Was that something like the school would have to do up front and then bill it in?
Correct. Yeah, it would be a reimbursement to you after. Yeah.
Okay. So all like the billing wise is we would provide everything and then get reimbursed for it. Is that kind of
Correct.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
okay?
Russell, can I ask what, who you're representing?
Oh, Ralston Public Schools.
Ralston Public. Okay, because you
Yeah.
had said you were from Ralston. So I didn't know if you were representing the public school or maybe one of the parochial schools or something.
Yeah,
for
the
district.
public school. Yes,
Are you okay? Are you in middle or high school?
at high school. Well,
school,
yeah,
okay.
I'm a young adult teacher.
Oh, okay. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and last year I had a couple of our students do the Goodwill program.
Okay.
And then I knew, they really loved it, and I just wanted a lot of our students to be able to have that opportunity, so.
Great.
Okay. And I've never written a grant before, so just trying to cover my bases.
We try to make the format so you can just kind of follow along with that and just answer the questions or, kind of fill in as you go.
Okay.
Loopy, when I paused my video so that I could sneeze, it now won't let me turn it back on. So I'm sorry to be rude, but it won't let me flip it back on. So that's why it's not back on. I had to
Okay.
sneeze, and so I paused it.
Okay.
So I
And-
apologize. I know now it's like, no.
Hey, Amy, you want to get out and come back in?
Oh, I
Bill's
can
still
do that.
there. Yeah,
Okay, I'll come back.
awesome.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, I think I got most of my answers or questions answered.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
No, it says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
What?
It's okay. I don't need my video on. It's okay. And actually, Loopy, you can probably pause the recording since there's
That's
no
what I was gonna